Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this lovely card that I made with the Framed Florets stamp set and coordinating dies. This stamp set is a sneak peek from our 2023 January-June mini catalog, but you can purchase it now. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. I'm going to start with my stamping, and I'm going to ink this floral image up in the Memento and stamp on my basic white cardstock. I'm going to be die cutting this, so I'm not worried about the placement, particularly just so that there's enough white edge. Then I'm going to bring in my sentiment, and I'm going to ink that up and stamp it in the upper left-hand corner. I've got my sentiment panel done, and I can color my floral images. I'm going to bring in my soft sea foam, my fresh Frieza, my dark daffodil, and my light mint. And I'm going to begin coloring with the center of the flowers here. I'm going to do that in the daffodil. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in my dark freesia, and I am going to color the areas that I want to be a little darker and add shadow where I'd like it. Now, as long as you're moving quickly, you can do this at one time in sections and not have any problems for the most part with your shading and so on. You just need to move quickly and carefully. So I've got that done, and I'm going to bring my light and I'm going to color right over the top of those areas that I just did to blend things so that they're nice and smooth. And I've got this nice shading effect at this point on my flower. And I'm going to repeat that on my second flower. So once again, bringing in the dark, adding shadow, just quickly and easily going around that flower, hitting the areas that I want to be darker. And then I'm going to bring in my light and finish the flower. Now, I find circular motions work well for blending, but you just have to play with the markers and see what you like best. It depends on your stamping and coloring style. So I've got that finished and can cap the markers. And then I'm going to bring in my light mint macron, and I am going to color these long thin leaves. I'm going to also do the stems on them, just adding a little bit of color. And of course, if you have your color lifter, you can push that color back in if you go out of the lines and make a mistake. Next, I'm going to bring in my light soft sea foam, and I'm going to quickly color my leaves that are the larger, more detailed leaves. And then I'm going to bring in the dark and just add some details to those leaves, coloring, adding the stems, adding some shade, just to give it a little bit of depth. I've got my flowers done, and I'm ready to die cut them and assemble my card. You'll want to check out my video on how to stamp and die cut images perfectly every time. I've added the link to the PDF. And so I'm going to start building my layers. Let's see, I am going to bring in my card base, a fresh freesia, and fold that on the score line. And then I'm going to bring in this beautiful piece of designer series paper in the soft sea foam. And you can decide which side you want. I'm going to use this striped pattern. And I'm going to adhere this right to the bottom of my card front. Okay, I've got my designer series paper on my card front here, and I'm going to adhere my sentiment panel onto the soft sea foam. I've already added the dimensionals to the back of my flower image and removed the backing, so this is nice and quick. So I'm going to adhere this panel down onto the card front. I'm going to adhere this down flat. right there in the center. And then I'm going to take this beautiful seafoam seam binding and run it on the inside of my card and tie it into a bow. Now I don't need to worry about where that bow is going at this point because I can slide this since it's going all the way around my card front. Okay, I've got my bow and I can push this up, slide it over as desired, and adjust. And then I'm going to take this beautiful flower image here. Let's see, I want to adjust my ribbon a little bit. And tuck it in right here on top, and that'll help hold that ribbon in place also. Oops, I forgot to remove the backings. There we go. And adhere. There we go. At this point, I can trim the ends of my ribbon and adjust. I think I'm going to make this one end slightly smaller. There we go. And trim that end. And the other end looks good. I'm ready for a little bit of shimmer and shine, and so I'm going to use these 2021 In Color Opal Rounds to add a little bit of shimmer. They come in 2 sizes, and they come in all 5 of the In Colors, making them perfect for a project like this. So I'm going to pick up one of the large ones here, and let's see, I'm going to pop it right here up on the right, and then I'm going to take a small one and pop it, I think here. And the last one I'm going to pop right here by the flowers on the leaves, just to add a little bit of shimmer. I hope you can see that. These rhinestones have a little bit of a glitter effect to them. So there you go, a lovely little card to send to a friend. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.